Salut à tous, it's been a while. I hope you guys are doing great. You may have noticed that I'm leaving longer gaps between videos. That's just because I want to make sure I have something interesting to say. Language learning is a marathon, not a sprint, although I'm doing a bit of a sprint this year, but sometimes week by week I'm doing the same thing. I'm studying from the same content, so I wanted to make sure that there was a new development. And there definitely has been, because just yesterday, I had my first conversation in French with a tutor on LingQ. And it was great. It was terrifying for me. I was really nervous. I maybe didn't need to be as nervous as I was, but there you go. I forgot a lot. I had a little introduction ready and some questions for my tutor. I forgot a lot, and weirdly I didn't think this would happen. I know a little Japanese. I lived there for a while, years ago, and I kept thinking of the Japanese. So that was interesting. I haven't spoken Japanese for a long time, and I'm not fluent in Japanese, but yeah, so I didn't know that I would have that to contend with, but I did, and it gave me a new respect for people who speak 5, 10, 15 languages. Like, how do you not get them mixed up when you're trying to learn Spanish and Russian floods your brain? I don't know. These people are another species to me, so. But it was great. It was mainly great because the tutor on LingQ, I'll show you her profile. I'll actually put a link to her profile in the description. Cathy, she is in France. She's in the Brittany region of France. Is everything you could wish for in a teacher and a tutor. She is patient, she's friendly, she's warm. She really kept the conversation going. I really liked how when I wasn't getting what she was saying, she would rephrase, simplify, slow down, and then as a last resort, and maybe she did this 2 or 3 times, she used English. So yeah, it was really challenging, but she's just excellent. So I'm going to speak with her hopefully twice a week moving forward. And yeah, she sent a conversation report afterwards. So the way it works on LingQ, and I will show you how to book a tutor, and I'll show you what the conversation report looks like in a second. The way it works on LingQ is you chat, the tutor takes notes on things you struggled with, things you need to work on, and then they send you those notes, and you create a lesson, you import and create a lesson. And her notes were really thorough, they were really helpful. So yeah, I'm feeling really positive. I'm glad to have gotten that first lesson out of the way, because as I said, I was really nervous. It was excruciating for her. I know language teachers are used to, slowing it down and not being understood and having to really work to get something out of the student. I used to teach English, so I know, but yeah, and moving forward, it's going to get better. So that's great. So let me show you then how you can book a chat with a tutor on LingQ. So here's the tutors page on LingQ, and to see the tutors in your target language, make sure that your target language is selected. Scroll down, take a look at the bios. There are pictures, there are a list of number of how many conversations that tutor has done. And here is Cathy. So you can see by hovering over the schedule of the tutor, and then it's as easy as clicking on the time that you would like, the time and day. So once you have done that, once you've booked, you will get a confirmation message from the tutor saying that they have confirmed and that you're okay to chat on that day. Then when you have had your conversation with your tutor, they will send you a conversation report, and that looks like this. I just have the one because I've just had one conversation with Cathy so far.
Time.
There we go. And so she, as you can see, gives suggestions, and there's a lovely message in English at the end because my French is terrible, so she left me a message in English. And yeah, I've already linked the words and phrases that were blue in this conversation report, and I'll get one every time I have a conversation. Another development is that Steve Kaufman, LingQ co-founder, polyglot, is now creating a video every week with Shelby, who is a new LingQ team member. And they are how-to videos from basically going from absolute beginner in French to somewhat proficient. We'll see how far Shelby gets. She just started, I think, last month. They have done 4 videos together. They're great videos. So Steve goes through lessons on LingQ with Shelby. He gives advice on, pronunciation, grammar, all kinds of things. So great if you're a beginner in French. Just great if you're a French learner as well. They talk about the mini stories a bit. And Steve and I may do an intermediate course for French learners too. We're just going to gauge interests, or we may try to find some other learners in different languages and maybe mix it up, intermediate Japanese, beginner German. We'll see, but really helpful video series. I will put the link in the description so you guys can follow along. It's a video every Monday. Apart from the speaking, I have been doing the usual, listening to In a French, the podcast. I still haven't gotten through all of the episodes, thankfully. I listen to some way more than once, so I'm trying to make them last. I still read news every evening, pretty much, without fail, 1 or 2 news stories. And I've been watching a new Netflix show. I gave up on Ad Vitam, which was the show I mentioned in my last video. I just lost interest, so thought forget about that one, and started a really weird, gross, disturbing comedy horror, I guess you would call it, on Netflix as well, called Marianne. And I'll pop a link in the description. It's so weird. It really is. I'm enjoying it. I'm almost done. And I find that, I don't know if this is because my French is progressing, but I find this show really easy to link. So for those of you who don't know, when I watch a TV show in French, I first create a lesson with the script using the LingQ browser extension. Then I will link the lesson. So I'll, get the words and phrases, get the gist of the show. Usually takes about half an hour, I would say, for a 50-minute show. Then I try to make sure that I have time straight after to watch the show, or if not, then that night. And then I watch with French subtitles. And it's tough. I won't lie, I'm not understanding every single part. Sometimes there'll be a back and forth and I'm like, I don't know what they just said. But because I've linked the script beforehand, I know what's going on generally, so it's okay if I miss like a slight exchange or the odd word or phrase. I'm finding that great. I mean, it doesn't feel like I'm studying, but I'm definitely seeing progress because I understand more every show I watch, every movie I watch. So yeah, been watching TV shows, and now moving forward, unfortunately my son broke his foot, and so there'll be some more TV time going on here with him. But luckily Netflix just put up the Studio Ghibli films, so if you haven't seen them, they're excellent, even for adults. So My Neighbor Totoro, Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle. There are lots. I don't know how many exactly Netflix just put up, but a good selection. So I'm going to make lessons with the scripts from those in French, and then we will watch them in French. My son doesn't speak French. I mean, barely speaks English. So and he's seen Totoro. He loves Totoro. He's seen it in English a bunch of times. So I think it's okay. We watch it in French. It'll be a lesson for him and a lesson for me at the same time. So yeah, lots of Studio Ghibli in my future, and more TV shows, more podcast episodes, and more news, and 2 speaking lessons per week. That is it from me, and I will see you guys next time.